We are recording.
All right, welcome back. Let me make sure I'm getting the right PowerPoint. For some reason, it's showing 3 here, Amy, for some reason on my share. I don't know why it's showing 3, but let's try this again. Okay, 1 there.
3 PowerPoints?
Yeah, when I go to share, hopefully this is a little better this time.
Okay.
Maybe I need more sleep or I'm drinking too much. I don't know, one or the other. And I'm seeing,
Maybe both.
yeah. All
If you're
right.
drinking too much, you probably need more sleep.
Wait, Andrew, you're day drinking already?
He's in
This
Florida. It's cold.
this call is a tall order, Chip.
I mean, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's fine. It's
All right.
almost the weekend.
Fair. All right. Jim, welcome back.
Thank you.
Man, you've been all over the place. So I'd love to, besides from wins, just bring us up to speed in a moment on your travels, how that went down in Australia. Amy's got the newsletter. Did it go out, Amy?
It did go out, and I didn't tell you, but I have 2 other updates as well. But I'll just surprise everybody with them when we get to the newsletter.
Hold on. I knew that. So we got Amy plus. How's that?
Yeah, perfect.
You're a programmer too?
Yeah,
It's amazing.
jack of all trades.
Yeah, just Lee run. I'll be under the. I'll hold on. I'll be. Just give me access to the code base. Let me at it.
Oh God.
Amanda's got some new Fortify actions, and then found a really interesting AI report by Darktrace, which is going to kind of highlight a lot of the things we've talked about over the last 4 or 5 months. It was kind of very cool. But Jim, let me kick it over to you first on World Traveler and what's going on with, all the cool things that are happening post the announcement. And yeah, then we'll go to wins.
Okay, cool. So last week, sorry folks, I missed this call. I was on my way back from Australia. I was in Sydney for the DattoCon APAC event, which was really well attended. It was a great event. And it's amazing. I forget how many partners we actually have over in APAC, specifically Australia and New Zealand. And I was able to meet with a bunch of them, and the feedback was phenomenal. We've got one partner over there that says that they put on every single customer that they have, and that it's by far giving them more data and helpful security event data than any other product they have in their stack. So that was a win, and certainly feels great. And they've been with us for maybe, I don't know, a year now. But overall, the reception around 365 user has been extremely positive. I was in New York with some partners earlier this week, and the same feedback in terms of how SaaS Alerts is helping their business. I can tell you from a numbers perspective, I still can't believe how fast this is growing. We are at 650. So it's been, as of yesterday, these numbers are as of yesterday. It's been 23 days since we launched user. 360 Kaseya 365 user, obviously with SaaS Alerts embedded in it. And we've added 650 plus new MSP partners. So just to put that in perspective, as of the end of October, SaaS Alerts, has been available to the MSP community for almost 4 years, not quite, about 3.5 to 3.75 years. And we were able to bring on about 1,200 partners. We've added about 650 net new partners in just 23 days. So word's getting out, certainly. But there's so many more right now in the pipeline that, to Andy's point before, there's a lot of folks out there who still don't know what we do. So there's projections by the end of Q1 that we'll have 4,000 net new partners.
Congratulations, guys. That's amazing.
Thanks. So it's exciting, and I can tell you that we've got some. Now that we've got the resources to do more, there's some exciting conversations happening between the SaaS Alerts teams and the Kaseya product teams, and we think that we're going to be able to come out with something super special for folks at Connect IT Global in April. So
I just bought my ticket.
Good. So I'll just put that out there as a little carrot. I'll be able to probably share a lot more in the weeks and months ahead. But we're feeling pretty good about what we're going to be able to do.
Very exciting. Congrats on all the
Thanks.
success. And this is one thing. This is not only a feel good story for SaaS Alerts, but this is one thing in general, you really feel like something really good has happened because of what you guys do. Like, you guys do awesome things to prevent really bad things from happening. So this is, I'm really, I'm in essence, Ann, I'm stealing your thunder from what you said last week. And I don't think Jim was here to hear it. So if you weren't here.
No, I wasn't.
She threw you under the bus a little too, Jim. So, but aside from that, no.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, congratulations on the big success, and you and your team have really built something that's helpful to all of us MSPs and all the small businesses we serve. And there's crazy different forces in the industry, and I think we just need to all come together and say, this is a big success story. It's a great thing.
Thank you very much, Ann. I appreciate that. Not just those comments, but your support all along the way, by the way. And obviously others.
I think the cool thing about it, though, seriously, Jim, is like a lot of times, there's an acquisition. This time, scale has done an awesome thing for, if you think about the downstream effects, scale has done amazing for so many businesses. So that's cool. Very exciting.
Yeah. So we're going to keep working hard.
Awesome. All right. How about some wins? Want to go there, Jim?
Yeah. Let's, I heard a bunch of wins in the land down under last week. Some really good meetings with folks in terms of, a lot of things we hear about on these calls quite often: business email compromise, token hijackings, and people are very willing to share those. One guy pulled another partner over to the booth with him, said, "Hey, I'm a partner, but this guy isn't," and started telling the story about how SaaS Alerts caught a compromise for him, and then got essentially take a demo with us. So it's always great to hear, Ann's comments, people that just say that we've built something that is useful and helps the community. I know it makes myself and Chip feel really good, as well as everyone else in the SaaS Alerts team. People like Ben Jones, who lives and breathes this stuff every single day. So it's fun making sure that you're able to provide a valuable service.
Absolutely. Anybody on the call have some wins this week?
Enrique had his hand up.
Yes, I was just going to ask quickly before I forget. So when the new tenant's created on that one, can we be selective of what we want with Managed SaaS Alerts? Or does it have to be all or nothing like we currently are?
You can't, managed is not included, or
No, I know we have to
being
request
attached to
the added cost.
to the K365 user.
Correct. We have to add the cost. But my question, well, I guess we're going to pay you that directly. My question is for that 365 tenant, can we be selective of what customers do want Managed SaaS Alerts and which ones don't?
Yeah, you'll put the ones that are managed in your existing tenant. You'll
Mhm.
put the ones that are 365 user in the new tenant that gets created.
No, but these come from the 365 world. So this is a user that's not currently a customer of mine in SaaS Alerts. They're becoming a customer of SaaS Alerts to K365, so they'll be in the new tenant.
Yeah,
And let's say I have 5 customers in there, only 2 of them want managed SaaS Alerts. Could that be possible?
no.
Okay.
We can take it offline, Enrique. I can, you
Yeah.
and I can diagram it out and I can just show you, map out what the scenario looks like.
Awesome. Thanks. Sorry.
It's all right.
It's all good.
Sam, can you, thanks for sharing that. Can you, do you have audio?
Yeah, I've
Whoa.
got audio.
There you
Awesome.
Yeah, so just come rolling in Monday, checking all of the platforms, and sure enough, amongst the usual multiple account locks that I see, I found one that was MFA failure, and I was okay, double check, and it was one of our global admin accounts for one of our customers. Sure enough, it had an older, weaker password from before my time here. And I guess just finally somebody found the password and got lucky connecting the dots. MFA did its job, but SaaS Alerts was there being like, hey, just so you know, might want to go take a look at that.
Yep.
So
they
password
got
changed,
most of
everything's
your
good.
credentials.
Yep.
Great.
Wow. Awesome. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate you sharing.
Lock the account, Sam, I'm assuming?
So they didn't actually get in. They got to the part where MFA triggered,
Okay.
and they didn't get past the MFA. But SaaS Alerts said, "Hey, password was good. MFA failed, so it let me know to go in and rotate the password. Account's good now."
Yeah. Very cool. This is going to actually play into, just mark that, if you think about, Chip, I want to get your take on this. I'm going to talk about this a little bit, but I think I'm not suggesting that every MSP goes and becomes, takes pen testing, as a subject matter. However, I believe the basis of, social engineering and pen testing are going to become important skill sets for security assessments, because that would be a great way in, like if I think about Carl Bickmore, we did an onboarding session, secure onboarding session at IT Nation together. And, one of the things in a security assessment, I think we're going to have to start getting good at is weak passwords, weak password policies and testing and, looking at things that are on the dark web using OSINT. And we're going to talk about this more in the subject matter I have today. But what are your thoughts on that?
I guess it remains consistent with what we always talk about. The weakest link is between the chair and the keyboard. And that's where the social engineering happens the most. You really can't socially engineer a device on its own. You got to have a person to do it. To the extent that MSPs can grow the skills to test their clients on that, I think it's fantastic. But I also think it's a unique skill set. You really have to be a born con man to be great at it. So I'm not sure that those skill sets always match up perfectly with an MSP, but to develop in-house resources around that, I think that makes the MSP's value proposition much, much better for their clients.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got the scale, if you're an MSP with 15, 20 people working for you already, and you've got somebody on staff who meets that personality profile, investing some time in training them to actually become the social engineering tester for your clients is a great idea.
And even, just even if they don't, like, I was just thinking, you don't even have to necessarily have the personality for a Chip, but just, thinking about doing, being able to do some password spraying, in your security testing, versus a full brute force, but, and setting off tons of bells and whistles and things like that. But that's,
yeah, sure. I don't think of that as a social engineering side, though. I mean, the phishing stuff certainly is. If you
Yes.
can use the tools that Ben has taken us through in these calls many times and set up good phishing campaigns, and there's other tools outside of that, obviously, that will help you do that. Things like Bullfish and other stuff. By all means, use them. But in this, there's still that other human element of the person-to-person social engineering that is I thought that's what you're asking about, Andrew, is like that becomes more important with the advent of AI and fake voices. And, you and I have gone back and forth on our text message about, moving from smishing to now phone call intercepts. And, that's becoming more and more, well, I guess it's kind of becoming full circle, isn't it? Because the whole social engineering freaker thing started out with phones and voices, and now we're rolling all the way back to the 1980s in a sense.
Yeah, I'm the operator calling, right?
Yeah. Yep.
What you got, Andy?
This is around the concept of pen testing and the respond unit itself. Is there a thought about giving SaaS alerts the ability to say, we're running a pen test, and instead of activating on these during this period of time, I want you to report that it's happening so I could show my customer when we do these pen tests, and it includes Microsoft 365 or Google, I want you to know that these actions would have taken place, as a way to say that we didn't do that because we knew we were doing this pen test, and then we re-enable them. That window of changing it to alert and have that integrate potentially with Avana High or some other thing around that area, I thought would add a value proposition to SaaS alerts to the MSP, being able to say, look, these are things we know we catch. Does your current solution to catch these things?
I mean, you could do that today with respond rules. You could set up a specific group of respond rules to apply to a new client only while you're going through testing that don't take direct actions, but report only, do the alert only. And then, give them a report on exactly what you picked up.
See, I'm trying to do this on an annual basis with our customers, and I'm trying to be able to begin to create that process that says, okay, let's make sure that this is done in SaaS alerts. Let's get this reporting mechanism to show them, hey, this was stuff that would have been caught, and here's your pen test. And by the way, you're back under full protection again, type of thing. It's kind of like doing a maintenance window for what we do for IT, but having this apply around a reporting process directed with a pen test. I don't know if that makes sense, but I thought it was a nice idea.
It does make sense. I'm not sure that we can automate everything like that process. I suppose if I were to encapsulate that into a single thing that we could do in the engineering side, it would be to ask the engineering team to enable you to put any customer in maintenance mode, which would automatically just downgrade all of the actions taken. But I would see a lot of risk in doing that.
I would call that a pen test mode only for the duration of the pen test.
Chip, your last comments is right where my head was going. The what if, Andy, is not worth the reward to me.
Yeah.
I'd rather report on it all. I'd rather trigger everything and
act on it.
And then just reset things and say, we did this test. I'd rather put them in a window to say, hey, look, a bunch of stuff's going to happen. We're telling you it's going to happen so that, the higher ups know, which is typically what happens in a pen test. The pen test, the lower level of the company, or whoever's, the majority of the people in a company don't know they're being socially engineered, and that, a guy like Bo Bullock is going to get in and, have the keys to the kingdom no matter what they do. But the executives of that Fortune 500 company know he's getting in no matter what.
Where this was going in my head was ultimately something like a Bullfish or another data security awareness training. We could actually show them, hey, this came through, this was that trigger, and this is how it would reflect. And these people obviously are not passing, and this is what happened. I'm just trying to show the dominoes through the process, I guess, is the way to say that.
Isn't it better to reinforce the training for the frontline knowledge worker to actually have them experience what's going to happen to them?
Absolutely, I agree. So, your point taken. Thank you, guys.
Tina had looks like a win there, Chip / investigation.
Come on, Tina, tell us all about it.
Yeah.
Do I really need to come on audio?
Yeah, don't be shy.
Well, I pretty much summed it up there. SaaS Alerts alerted on it. It's a service account that we have multiple compression texts checking just for the calendar portion. So there is no MFA set up on it, although Just so you know, we have MFA set up on all other accounts. And 1:30 last night, I had a couple missed calls from Rocket Cyber. And this is just on a trial with Rocket Cyber. And they auto locked the account, but SaaS Alerts did alert on it. We do not have respond set up to block yet. We're just alert only, but the emails were there and the data was there. And Rocket Cyber seems to do a really good job of the integration with SaaS Alerts. It almost puts it into easier to read format as well, including the data that I know a lot of people are struggling with that's missing, like the IP address or the location or the account information. Some things that are missing from the SaaS Alerts emails that we get anyway are kind of encapsulated better in the Rocket Cyber Alerts, which is neat. But yeah, win for both of you, SaaS Alerts and Rocket Cyber there. I thought that was pretty awesome. I was asleep, so I was pretty happy that was blocked, and I dealt with it this morning. But I really would like to know why Microsoft let that one through, because we have conditional access policies in place to block all countries outside of Canada. No one's permitted access outside of Canada unless we exclude them from that policy. If they're on holiday, they have to let us know about it. So I haven't had time to dig into that yet, but 2 of the attempts were successful. The rest failed due to being blocked by the caps, and they all came from the same location, Netherlands, same IP address. So I'm taking that up with Microsoft for sure.
You know, I would look closely at the account or accounts if it's two different accounts, and look at the activity within 15-20 minutes after, or even a couple hours after, because it's the most common way. And Ben, I want you to back me up or tell me I'm full of crap. The most common way that we see this scenario play out is an attacker in the middle executed successful token theft, and they use that token to come in from anywhere in the world they want. Once they have that token, MFA is out of the picture. They're just hopping right over it.
Yeah, there was no MFA. So
Conditional
we've seen a
access
lot.
policies. It's still out the window.
Same thing. Conditional access
Yeah.
policy. Conditional access policy and MFA are actually, believe it or not, they're basically the same thing. They function the same way.
Yes, but we block at all countries outside of Canada. So yes, I've seen a lot of the situation you're talking about with token theft and adversary in the middle situations. But this one, I've never seen Microsoft allow an IP address that is determined to be outside of Canada to gain access. So yes, the username and password, I've been digging into this quite a bit, because you guys don't actually receive an IAM successful login outside of approved location in that situation, because it is token theft, right? So it's not generating that event. But in this situation, there's no MFA. It was a successful login, and you can see it being blocked by conditional access policies because it's outside of Canada.
Yep.
Which was correct and should always happen. And we've never seen this fail. And we see this all the time, especially with people going on holidays without telling us. But it was 2 events that allowed it through. I'll send the details to Ben there on Discord. I see him mentioning in the chat there, so you can take a look. But yeah, it was an interesting one. I don't know. I'll let you know. I'm in every call, so I'll let you know when I find out
That
what
is
happened there.
interesting. So
Bottom line,
just to clarify, you don't have MFA set up on these accounts, or your client refuses to use MFA. You're just relying on geographic conditional access policy.
We have MFA set up on every single account in every single tenant in every single domain. It's mandatory, but this account is a service account. We got to look into a different way to do it, but it's an account that is used by a bunch of techs in the field to access a shared calendar. So a lot of them have it on their phones currently, and it's just a legacy setup that we've had in place for, I don't know, 10, 15, a really long time. So to change that, set up MFA on that, and contact all of these techs all over Canada that are using this shared mailbox is just, it's a big project. It's been on the list for a while, but is this single account in this tenant that doesn't have MFA. That is it. We have MFA in place for all tenants at all times. So we have a lot in place. We have the MFA in place. We have the conditional access policies blocking outside of Canada. SaaS Alerts is on there right now. Rocket Cyber is on there right now. So it's covered. This is unique for sure, but I'm more interested in why Microsoft missed it. But you guys did your job, so it's a win.
Yeah. Well, Tina, the big takeaway here is you're making a really strong case for a layered approach to security.
Yeah.
Right. That's, people talk about it all the time, but this is a case study in exactly why you should be doing, because time and time again I hear, well, this kind of overlaps with this and this kind of overlaps with this, and therefore I don't need it. And this is a perfect example.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Can I just ask a quick question, Tina?
Yeah.
So it was successful, but then getting in, but then the conditional access policy didn't notice it, but then SaaS Alerts did notify you on it.
Yeah, SaaS Alerts emailed is the only thing that we're looking at right now with SaaS Alerts notifications coming in. Because we have a big problem with this, as well as everybody does, I think, is the outside approved location issue. We're in Canada, and the data is being accessed all over the US. So I have that turned down to low, like recommended by Ben in his video. I've watched it all, I've read it all. And then I elevate that using outside approved location non-file event. So to be able to see these alerts at all, we have to elevate that to critical to be able to get an alert on it, because we have so much noise outside of approved location, aside from that, from any file that's accessed in SharePoint or OneDrive. So yes, I received the emails from SaaS Alerts saying non-file event outside of file location, because it was a successful IAM event, non-file event outside of, yeah, you with me on that?
Yeah, no, I was just wondering, the reason I'm asking is, and this is a long shot, Tina. Chip, do you remember, I can't place it, but it was a threat. We went through this article where a threat actor had gained access. What they did, Tina, is they first got in through, they had a local IP through a VPN, or I forget whether it was, AWS account or whatever. Then they got lazy. So they came in initially in country, and then they got lazy. They forgot how they, what they were doing. They got lazy. Hey, and they triggered it by coming back through their IP in their country. Do you remember that vaguely, Chip?
I do.
Yeah. So that's the only reason I'm asking the question, Tina, is that if sometimes the threat actor, like literally, it could be automated, like a VPN could have gotten them in on a local IP, and then hands-on keyboard, they start doing stuff through the local, through the country IP. And so it's a long shot.
But Andrew, Tina's point is a really good one. She's challenging, I've got this conditional access policy in place based on geolocation, and it seems as if Microsoft didn't apply the policy.
Yeah.
They didn't. It's right there. I have 20 events where the policy was applied from Norwegian, Utrecht, whatever, Netherlands. Single factor authentication, I know, I get it, but same IP address. I don't have it up right now because I've been auto signed out, but I have a snip of it in an email here. And we're talking all at the same time, all on the same account, all from Outlook Mobile, and all from the same IP address and the location. And you can see in all of those events, blocked due to conditional access policies, which we see often. And then 2 right in the center where it was not applied.
It was mobile?
Yeah, that's what the snip says. These 2 stay mobile. So yeah.
That's
but I'll log back in and
I'll
get
send
more
you
details.
something. I'll send you something from Bo. That's one of the workarounds. Remember that, Chip? That you can actually work around the conditional access policy if you're using mobile. So
okay,
yeah, I will send you it. He actually talks about how he gets around conditional access through that.
okay.
You
we've had
you have your mobile subscribed while you're within the conditional access boundary. And now you have a device token and you carry it outside that boundary and you hop through conditional access with that device token. But it doesn't sound like that's the case here unless one of you guys had a mobile device that they traveled with.
Yeah, and we've had a bunch of triggers like that recently where we thought it's been a win, but you know, an actual employee from Canada happened to be traveling to India, which seemed very obvious for us to be malicious, but no, they were on holiday in India. So those ones look really rough. They look like token theft or maybe adversary in the middle. I'm not sure to look at this, right? Because you've got successful authentication, successful MFA, but saved our asses with conditional access policy. So we're like, whoa, you know, this is good. But then later realized it is an already authenticated device. It already has the token. It already, right? It was a legit user. So we've had a lot of those coming in where we really have to kind of dig into it until we hear back from the client and hear, oh no, that's legit. And maybe we have 2 people traveling on this tenant right now, but they're in Mexico and New Zealand. So there's a possibility that I find out that maybe there's an incorrect IP, wrong location, right? We'll see. I haven't dug into it that much yet because it's not a serious issue. There's nothing on that account but a shared calendar. There's no access to data. It's not a concern to us. So we've already blocked, forced sign out, reset password, provided it to all the people. It's fine for now. We got to come up with a solution on that account, but I'll let you know for sure. I'll come back and let you know what happens with it.
Yeah, we'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
And you know, it sounds like a shared mailbox with a block sign-in is the solution moving forward. Because then everybody can access that calendar and that mailbox directly as they need to.
They can't
Inside
access
the
it on the phone though, because they don't have tenant emails, all these guys. So unfortunately, that's not a solution for us. But I mean, obviously we have all of our other our shared mailboxes blocked, and we have this. I don't want you to think that this is lax on our part. We have that in place for everybody. It's just
Hey,
it's
what stays on the SASE call or
really-
happens on the SASE call stays on the SASE call.
Yeah.
So
I'm telling you, we
there's no judges here.
no, but we're on it. So don't
Yeah,
think
I
that's
can
lax
tell.
security.
Tina, I can tell by
It's
the
not.
way you talk. You're on it. We know it. You represent
So
very well.
I almost didn't want to tell you about this because I'm like, oh God, there's no MFA on it. They're gonna blast me.
It's all good, Tina. Where in Canada do you live, Tina?
Oh my God, we're so far north. We're like halfway to Alaska. We're in northern British Columbia. So we're about, I want to say probably 1,000 miles north of Seattle. Might help you guys.
Wow.
Yeah, we're pretty close to the Yukon. Probably
Hence
halfway.
hence the layers, Tina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. When I saw the flannel,
What?
I'm like, wait a minute, she's kind of far up.
I am
At
bundled.
the start of the call, yeah, Tina, what did you say? It was -4 degrees there?
It's -20 right now. Feels like -29, and I googled it. I think that's -4 Fahrenheit. It's effing cold, guys. Yeah.
You're one of like those few Canadians that actually lives further than 100 miles from the U.S. border, because most Canadians basically live within that 100-mile radius.
Yeah, we're pretty north. Very small town. Yeah.
Mm.
Amazon does deliver. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Takes a little longer though. And yeah, the USD conversion rates, don't even bring that up, Anthony. Please. You guys only yeah.
Buy Bitcoin, Tina. Hey, Amy, can we send Tina a Sazzler sweatshirt?
Yeah, I've been asking for t-shirts too. I was
I
just in Vegas.
definitely have t-shirts. I don't have sweatshirts, but we could put that on the list for 2025.
You know what toque? You guys know what toques are? I need Sessler's toque.
What's a toque?
A beanie, a hat, a wool
Oh,
hat.
okay.
Ear flaps or no?
Beanies. I'll take ear flaps.
Amy can send her one of the new hats.
Okay. I just got them while we were on
Okay.
the call. That's why I went
Okay.
off camera to check
Good.
the door.
I don't know
I
how
can't wait
warm
to
it's
go
going to be,
back.
but they look good, Tina. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to go back and read this chat. I'm just getting razzed here.
We're
Okay.
gonna we'll put on a reindeer. It'll be to you by Christmas.
I'm on every call. I'm on every call listening, so I'll tell you on Tuesday or next Thursday what's going on.
Oh, maybe not Thursday here, but
Oh, right. You guys are close. You're not doing your thing on
Yeah,
Thursday.
yeah, that's right. We should probably announce at some point that Thursday's call next week will
Unless we all
not
want to have
be
Thanksgiving together.
happening.
yeah, we can have
I mean, we
Thanksgiving
could do that.
together.
I
Yeah.
mean, I have to go to my in-laws, so it would
Fine,
be
you're
better
invited,
to
Amy.
no.
Maybe
Yeah.
we should have Tina host the call for everyone who's non-US.
I'll host the call. I've been digging a lot. I can do it. I've been at every call since I met you guys. I love you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Tina.
Enrique, do you have something?
Yes, just first of all, thanks for sharing, Tina. And there's no judgment on this call. The only one that gets judged is me, but they don't tell me, so it's good. So I'm curious just regarding these two successful logins, the IP address, where are they registered? What country or what ASN? What is it pulling up? Because that's pretty much the only reason conditional access would have let it through was if it matched Canada. So have you researched the actual IP addresses that logged in successfully and breached?
Yeah. What's the one that you guys use? The
Use a couple.
location?
Why don't you drop an IP address in chat, and Ben will run it through his external checker that we use to check our own stuff, and we'll see if we
I'm
can
just
come up with some differences.
Yeah,
I'm
because
just
that's a
gonna
big
join.
one.
Or if you don't
conditional
want to
I'm
send
just
it to
gonna-
everyone, just send it to Ben.
Okay, I'm just gonna join the call on my workstation because I'm on my laptop here. But just so you know, it's the same IP address in the failures that were blocked due to conditional access policy. So it's detected as
That makes it really very strange.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's Outlook Mobile. I have a page of failures, exactly the same IP address, exactly the same Outlook Mobile application. And we have failure, success, failure.
Okay,
So
that could be, we have an issue with a rule but you don't have it in Respond. We have an issue with a rule in Respond. There's some reason with iPhones, they'll trigger, and we haven't been able to identify with customers what they were doing at that millisecond. But all of a sudden, the iPhone will trigger 700 or 80. We had it this morning. Ben and I were talking about it. 84 failed logins and then immediate success. And that is the owner of the phone using it. And it's just that iPhone does something weird. I don't know. Ben might be able to explain better.
And you had that this morning? Because this happened for us at 1:30 in the morning, which would have been, where are you, Enrique?
He's West
Well,
Coast, Colorado.
You're West Coast?
Well, I'm in Colorado, but the customer's in Texas, and this was about 8:30 in the morning, and they immediately messaged me. But it's something, iPhones do something weird when something happens, and they'll have like 70, 100, and we've even seen hundreds of failed logins, and then all of a sudden successful login, and that triggers our ban something rule that we block it, but not sure.
Ben, I see you laughing in the background. Did you get an answer from Tim Cook on this yet?
Not yet. I'm still waiting for my email response.
You guys are.
I'm laughing at the chat, and I'm laughing at the Ben response email.
Your ipdata.co, when I put it in there, which I think that's the one that you guys gave me, it says no country, but it says 29 high risk HTTPS, nothing to hide. Doesn't have a country there though. That's
That
weird.
could be why it failed.
Geolocation database.
Send it to Tina. Send it to either me or Ben, like in a private chat. I know you don't want to share it to everybody.
We
No,
should
I
just
just
put it in.
I just put it in.
Okay.
I'm on my laptop here, so I just connected to the call on my PC so I could copy paste here. And
I want to take a look at that.
With a Mac, you would be able to do that between the two devices. So
I could have done it. It's just easier this way. Simmer down. It's -20 up here. Give me a
Yeah.
break.
All right. Good stuff. Amy, you got a few things.
I'm muted. I do have a few things. I'm going to start with the most important things and work backwards. So the 2 pluses, I'm going to start at the second plus. And this is important for every single person on this call. First, you guys, we already talked, next week's call will be canceled because most of us will be celebrating the Thanksgiving holiday. All of our offices are closed, government's closed, all of that. But the following week, December 5th, there is going to be a new link for the SASE call that all of you are going to have to save. I'm going to share it 2 ways in chat right now. I tested this earlier today, and you can either open your existing meeting on your calendar and replace the link with this one that I just shared in the chat, or you can go to the SASE page on our website and click add to calendar, and it will add all future meetings to your calendar with the new link in it. So the choice is yours. I found it easier to just open my Outlook calendar and replace the link, but I wanted you guys to have both options. Now, if you don't get it and you forget, you join the wrong meeting, me or somebody will join the old one just in case somebody didn't get the message, and we'll redirect you to the new one. But Andrew, this goes for you. It goes for all internal colleagues. Literally everyone on this call is going to need to join the new link because we had to migrate our Zoom account over. Yes, Enrique.
Just make sure when you guys are editing your calendar, you say edit the series and not just edit the event. So it could save all future forward.
Yep. Now, for those of you, I'm also going to put this in Discord. So if you miss it here, I'll share it in Discord. I'll share it multiple times in Discord. So this is also your cue to join Discord if you're not already on there. But then the same is going to happen for the ongoing office hours. So I mentioned this in Discord the other day and shared the new link, but I'm going to do that here as well. I'm going to label this one office hours. So those of you who go to office hours and you want to update it, do that. So yes, Ben, we have a Discord. Did you know? It's amazing. You should join it and help out all the folks who are over there looking for your guidance. So those are the 2 most important things. And Corey's coming in, so of course he just missed it. So we'll message him separately. So this is actually a small call compared to what we usually have. So I know we're going to have some other folks that don't get the message. I'll share it on social. I'll share it as much as I can. And then if we want to see, let's come over to the newsletter for those of you who maybe didn't see this week's newsletter. Some of it's old news, some of it's new. So hi, Corey. I'm going to share my screen here. This one, share. I'm sharing my whole desktop, so hopefully nothing comes in that we don't want anybody else to see. So I think this one is the old news. I think everyone on this call knows that we've joined the Kaseya family. We're really excited about it. Second is now that we're part of the Kaseya family, we get to take part in some of their really fun webinars. And on December 5th, they're having Cybersecurity Jeopardy, and like participants can join. I'm excited about it, so I figured I'd share it with y'all too. You can win prizes. They're going to have people from inside of Kaseya, security experts asking questions and whatnot. So register, it'll be fun. For those of you looking at or already working in the education sector, we have a really great blog article that one of our partners helped us put together around the top 5 critical cyber threats facing education and how to prevent them. And another 10 days of daily giveaways from our friends over at Channel Program. I'll share this link in the chat too if you want to register. Hopefully you can participate and win something amazing, and don't get spammed afterwards. We don't spam the users. I know some of the vendors do, so just unsubscribe. It's still worth joining in and trying to win. Somebody commented on our LinkedIn earlier that they want to win the pizza oven, so that looks pretty fun. Of course, our recent platform enhancements that Amanda and Liron go over on the call every week, so nothing new here. Partner quote of the month from our friend Paul down in Australia. This platform is pure value to my clients. And our partner of the month, who I don't think is on this call, SkyComp Solutions. He was nominated by one of our internal team members. He has fully embraced SaaS Alerts, swiftly adopted across his entire customer base, leveraged our MRR guarantee to drive growth, and has been a really amazing new SaaS Alerts partner for us. So if you know Serge at SkyComp, give him a shout out.
Yeah, sir, he's Canadian.
Oh yeah? Okay,
we got a theme
cool.
today.
Yeah.
He's not as Canadian as Tina. because I think he's in Toronto.
Yeah. So I think that's everything. I'm going to share the holidays link if you guys want to join in. Andy, did you have a question for me or for somebody else?
Just an observation that the Jeopardy is immediately following the SaaS Alerts call as I'm reading the date and time for that. So it's a,
Ooh,
I
okay.
just thought
That'll
I'd
be
point that
fun.
out,
We can spend more time together.
potentially.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Amanda, you're up.
Okay, so we have a list of new Fortify recommended actions. I shouldn't say recommended. Some are recommended actions, some are Microsoft actions. So we have a new Microsoft action for quarantine messages that are detected from impersonated users. Another Microsoft action for enable impersonated user protection. And then we're going to be able to apply the policy for restrict anonymous users from joining meetings. So disable setting in the global policy for that. We're adding a couple additional parameters for the SaaS Alerts Fortify Anti-Spam Global Outbound Policy Collection. So you can set a maximum number of external recipients that a user can send to within an hour. Set the maximum number of internal recipients that a user can send to within an hour, and then send maximum percent limit per day, blah, blah, blah. We are going to be adding a tag that'll say that it's SaaS Alerts recommended actions so that it distinguishes it from a Microsoft or any other best practice. We are adding three new CIS recommended actions. They're all related to Section 8. So ensure users can report security concerns in Teams, ensure meeting chat does not allow anonymous users, and ensure users can't send emails to a channel email address. And then we have a few more others that are specific to OneDrive. We have a custom recommended action for set the default storage limit for OneDrive users, set the default OneDrive retention for deleted users, and that is the full list as of now. Those are already on our QA and are being tested, so those should be expected by early next week.
Any questions for Amanda? Thanks for Amanda. All right. Jim, we got about 6 minutes left. Should I start into what I want to show and then we'll pick it up maybe the following week?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. I'm going to do one thing personal, Jim. I showed you this picture already, but I wanted to show everybody else. All right.
Yes, definitely.
All right. So this is my son on the right. He's graduating basic training tomorrow. So we're going to be heading up to Cape May, New Jersey, and really proud of him. So anyway, I just want to share that with everybody.
Thank him for Andrew.
Huh?
Please thank him for his service so far for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I will. Had a few things. This one caught my eye. I just, this is not another, like obviously, it made me think about 9/11, right? Not hopefully to the degree of the severity of it, but there have this article that I can post if you guys want to see it. I don't know if you saw this, Chip, but TSA has gotten multiple warnings, credible, about ransomware and attacks on the railway systems, and all the recommendations. I think over the past, I think the article said 4 years or whatever, nothing has been done. That's pretty frightening of the kind of havoc that could be caused by threat actor getting into our railway systems and being able to control those now. I don't know. Did you see this at all, Chip?
I didn't.
I'll put the article real quick here in chat. Not to bring people down, but just again, just awareness of what is going on and in our industry. So what I did want to talk about today in our last few minutes, and I probably won't be able to get into all of it, but to set the stage, it was a great article or a study by Darktrace on AI and its use both positively and negatively in cyber threats. And obviously, the AI gives both sides leverage. right? I think it probably is asymmetric for threat actors, as the more I start to look into this. But a few things I wanted to point out that could be beneficial to us. This is why, if you think about how we can use this knowledge to educate prospects and do security assessments. This article, I think, leads into it. And let me explain how and why. I just wanted to highlight is that this is enterprise related, but it does correlate down to SMB, and I'll explain. But that significant increase in threats being powered by AI. The other thing that I thought was interesting for our industry, because we know the averages of tools by MSPs now is in the 40s on average, and some as high as 70, that the preference to move to a platform, Jim, kind of what made me think about this is the reason, kind of what you guys have chosen to do and, becoming part of the Kaseya, is a vastly popular thing that the enterprises are looking to do to thwart threats. But getting into it, the velocity and creativity that we're seeing with AI, it goes right into what we talk about day in and day out here on SaaS Alerts. That this is the notable increase in email born and novel social engineering used by AI tools. And if you recall, especially these ones in here, the CAPTCHAs and the phishing ideas, Chip, that we've talked about over the last 3, 4, or 5 months.
QR codes.
Huh?
The QR codes coming in.
Yeah. And then I put a few of them here that I just went back and grabbed a few of them that we've talked about over the past few months. That this one where they use Sway, that's one where they used a version of CAPTCHA that is not by I'm drawing a blank on the company, very popular organization. But the point of it is the TTPs are changing, but they're changing because of the creativity that AI is giving the threat actor, right? To be more creative than ever. And one of the things I'll come back to just real quick here is where did it say? Open source. So this was one of the big things I wanted to talk about why this is important for us and how we can use this to get better at security assessments and make more money. In the last minute here, I'll say, basically what this does is it walks through all the various ways in a thing that AI can be used by a threat actor. But one of the most prominent ones to make things more, the reason social engineering and phishing and email-based attacks has become so much so much more prevalent is, if you're familiar at all with what open source intelligence, that's what OSINT stands for, is these systems now can go out and find as much information as possible that's available, right? About you personally, about your company personally. It can do it in an automated fashion and then create very compelling, convincing email attacks that will engage your users because they seem credible. So I'm just going to pause there. I know we're at the top of the hour, but is that so far making sense of how threat actors are leveraging this and why it's going to, I think, why email and social engineering and identity are continuing. Again, Jim, and Chip, kudos to you and the whole team. This is where I see the creativity continuing to emerge. Closing thoughts on that, Chip or Jim?
You and I have been talking about this on the side for a while, that this is coming and it's going to get faster and faster. If you guys aren't following AI closely as the industry evolves, I would encourage you to do that. My favorite podcaster to listen to, and that is a guy named Lex Friedman. He does a ton of great interviews. He just did a big one with Anthropic, and they talked quite a bit about tangents to this problem, which is ethical development of AI and how they're trying to keep AI tools out of the hands of hackers. So really good 3-hour interview actually between Lex and several people at the Anthropic's executive team. So really interesting to listen to.
Cool. Well, I'll go more into this. There's some, like I said, there's ways in which we can use this in our security assessments, I think, to generate revenue and differentiate, but I just wanted to get into it. But I know we're going to miss next Thursday. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Jim, you want to leave us with any thankful thoughts and as we go head out this Thursday?
Well, as always, thank you for participating, and I am thankful for this entire community. So thank you for everyone, and for those enjoying the holiday next week, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Take
I'm
care.
headed to the slopes after this, so happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Good for you.
Enjoy, Enrique.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Stay warm,
Bye.
Tina.